Hey everybody, happy first day of spring. KT with 90s Muscle here. Spring came early up here in the Northeast. Snow is pretty much melted. We're getting into car season a little bit early. Thanks to the mild winter we had in February, I was able to get out on the road and hunt for some cars. I happened upon the one behind me here in the trailer that I'm about to pull out. It is an '89 IROC Z28. Spent its whole life up here in Vermont, believe it or not, which is a rarity for these type of cars, Fox bodies, third gen stuff. You don't see too much of it up here, but this one, in fact, has lived its entire life up here in Vermont, has ping-ponged around between a handful of owners up in northern Vermont. Probably 4 to 5, I'd say, given the auto check and the history I gleaned from the previous owner. It's got about 62,000 original miles on the clock, more or less completely OEM stock original. It does have a repaint recently within the last 3 years. It does need a new stripe kit and a new decal. But other than that, interior's all stock, motor's all stock. It's got the stock cat on. It still does have a MagnaFlow catback exhaust on it. Other than that, an aftermarket stereo. But for the most part, it is a super clean, straight black '89 IROC. Can't go wrong with black. I happen to prefer the black to the red or any of the other colors. It just makes for a mean third gen platform. Car drives very well. It is a sunroof car. It was installed by the dealer for the original owner. I'm not a fan, but pickers can't be choosers when it comes to super straight, all black, black on red, which is my favorite third gen stuff. So we're gonna pull her out of the trailer now, take a closer look, and I'll give you a couple of walk-arounds of the car once I pull it out. So we just pulled this thing out of the trailer, let it run for a bit. It's a cold morning up here in Vermont, about 36 degrees at the moment. But the car's been in the trailer for a couple of weeks since I picked it up. Wanted to get it out, run it, pull it in the shop, start going through it. Needs a few little things. Hood insulation blanket. Looks like it needs a set of front brakes, maybe rear pads, front rotors and pads, rear pads. Other than that, let's take a walk around it. You can see black car, super straight. It does have aftermarket lower door decals. They have 6 segments to them. Your originals would have, I believe it was 13 segments. You could buy these, they're relatively cheap. A lot of people don't know the difference, but that is not in fact a correct IROC lower door decal. It is in the correct place though, because on an '89 it would be back towards the rear of the door. On say an '87 it would be towards the front of the door. It has the correct rims on the car. An '89 would have 2 stripes on each the 5. Oh, my dog's here. He wants to check out the IROC too. On an '89 like this, you'd have 2 stripes on the wheel on each spoke. On like an '87, you'd have only 1 single stripe in the middle. Take a walk around the back. You can see the MagnaFlow catback kit. Got the big exhaust tips there. 5.7 port injection. Badge is in place. It's hanging off a little. Needs a little glue. As I mentioned earlier, this car was repainted about 3 years ago. Very nice job. Actually spoke to the guy that did it. You know, they did take the car all apart, all the trim, everything came off it. They painted the jams, everything. There's no putty in it. There was no rust or anything on the car. It was just a clear coat problem. But they didn't put on, the owner that had it painted did not like the stripe, so they never put a stripe kit back on the car. It should have a red stripe. This is a red interior car. Open the door and show you. As you can see, we're talking very, very nice shape. Has the original floor mats in it still. They're covered up by this aftermarket set to keep those nice. You know, carpet's great. You know, got the original manual there in the console. Does have that aftermarket radio I mentioned. It does have a sagging headliner as a result over there in the corner behind the driver's seat, so we got to address that. But all in all, you know, for a 60,000 mile, 3rd gen 5.7 IROC, I mean, 89 was basically the top of the line. You know, the king of the hill. They stopped making them in 90, so this is where, you know, the 5-year core run of the IROC. This was the, you know, the proverbial king of the hill. So if you wanted to get one, this would be the year to get. And I mentioned the hood. You know, it's got the original hood insulation pad in it. We can pick up one of those and throw it in and clean it up. But so thanks for taking a look at this 89 IROC with us. We're gonna pull it in the shop here and get a better look at everything, get it on the lift, look underneath, and start going through it. Take it over to the warehouse, add it to the collection. As always, we enjoy sharing these cars with you. If you haven't already, please subscribe and keep an eye out for further work on this car.